So the topic of this triennial is Cosmos. Title is Beyond the Globe. And cosmos is, for me, the cosmic space, is a general and most universal name from the outside. From the outside of our sphere of control, our sphere of immediate experience. It is a space in which our globe is moving, in which Earth is moving. The space that is dangerous for us, but also promising and seductive. And so I use this notion beyond the globe to address all the possibilities of connecting to the outside and reacting to the outside. Of course, the most immediate is the early avant-garde and modernist project of going into the cosmic space different ways. For example, Malevich imagined cities moving freely, and even individual apartments moving freely in the cosmic space. And his early supremacist works he saw as a kind of prolegomena, as a kind of preparation for this new cosmic age. So a reference to Malevich was very important to me. Yeah. If you enter the exhibition, you see the work of Irving presenting his body on the deathbed. On the right side, a sculpture of ideal body of Gagarin, so man of the future. So the entrance to the exhibition already marks this kind of extreme utopian expectations connected to the cosmic space and going outside of Earth. And then, of course, you have Slovenian artists like Dragan Živadinov and many others who are traditionally exploring man's connection to the universe. I also invited Anton Vidokle, who shows some videos related to the early scientific and artistic research related to the influence of the cosmic powers on individual human existence, on human body and reactions of the human body towards the outside world. Human behavior, also behaviors of human masses, such as wars and revolutions. And of course, this kind of interest in relationship to the powers, cosmic powers that influence the human behavior, it's very much traditional Chinese occupation. So I invite Johnson Chang, a curator from Hong Kong, to present the work of Chinese artists that reflect this kind of search for the balance of the cosmic powers and search for the contact with the cosmic space. Already at the beginning of the 20th century, you see emergence a lot of projects having to do with changing the biological structure of the human being himself. For example, also Malevich and many other theoreticians of that time, also including Tsiolkovsky, who created the first rockets, they believed that the natural reproduction and sexuality should be stopped. Instead, human beings should be produced in artificial and technological ways. So the idea of going into cosmos was also connected to the hope and desire to achieve immortality. And desire to achieve immortality was connected to the switch from the, let's say, natural way of production and reproduction of human beings towards a kind of technological way. Machine is as such immortal. In a certain way, immortality of machine became a horizon of human expectations. And when we speak about post-human today, it's precisely what we have in mind. So the machine more and more becomes like after a long period of rejection of everything mechanical and machinistic, becomes like in a period of early avant-garde, something like an ultimate horizon of human existence in time. Some of the Slovenian artists that I have chosen, like Zhivadinov I already mentioned, or the couple, the painter, some other, were really very intensely motivated by the Russian avant-garde. But other artists were not. What I think is important about Slovenian art is general openness of the Slovenian art in different forms towards some kind of universalist perspective. Slovenian art was always interested in the outside, interested in the universal, interested in the global. I must say that also in very practical terms, Ljubljana is one of the very few places, I almost would say it's only one place, where there are systematic attempts to present the whole art of the Eastern Europe and post-communist world. You don't have any other country, maybe Russia, but only to some extent, any other country with such a claim of being a point of presentation and representation of the whole late communist and post-communist art. And that already shows to me this kind of exceptional position of Slovenian art. It's not only because of its relationship to constructivism, Bauhaus, and Russian avant-garde, which is very obvious. On the formal level, it is a kind of mental attitude that told me that Slovenia is a good place to make such an exhibition.